That's the good news. Because anybody who even had a speck, you know, actually he used the term a grain, like a small grain, smaller than a grain of rice, something tiny, this much belief that there really is only one God, Allah. They have this belief, La ilaha illallah, that none is deserving any worship, none is deserving any devotion, and none is deserving any of this kind of attention other than the one true God. If they have this, then they will get out of hellfire eventually. Still kind of like bad news, good news. Eventually. How bad is hellfire? You ever thought about it? Some people might say, well, no, I did some bad things, but hey, I'll just go to hell for a little while. As though what? It's not a bad deal? Or they might say that, well, there are different levels in the hell. Some worse than others. Maybe I'll just go to the goodest place. Like that goodest place. Huh? Is there a goodest place in the hellfire? There's levels though. There's one level that's so bad, even the rocks that are burning there are afraid of it. And it's really horrible. The worst is that even the fire itself is afraid. That's horrible. But that's reserved for the worst of the worst of the worst. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had an uncle, Abu Talib. You know his uncle? Yeah. He's a good guy. By our standards, by human standards, we say he's a good guy. He was nice, he was kind, he did good deeds, he supported the Muslims, he helped them when nobody else would help them. In fact, the only thing about the guy was he just wouldn't say the Shahada. That's the only really bad thing about it. He just refused to say there's only one God worthy of my worship. He said, you know what, I'm coming from a culture, background of people that worship these gods, and how could I be now? He's on his deathbed. How would it look, you know, to everybody if I abandoned the religion of my forefathers for this? It wouldn't look right. People might, you know, think, oh, it's like a coward or something. So, now I'll just stay with what I got. And he died. He died without the kalima la ilaha illallah. And so Rasul ﷺ was making dua for him, praying for him. And he said, I'll keep doing that unless Allah shows me something other than that. And of course, that's when the verse in the Quran comes and it makes it clear that you can't do that. If somebody died without the kalima, you don't pray for him. Because Allah knows and we don't. Allah, He knows and we don't know. So then the Prophet ﷺ told us his uncle, Abu Talib, would be in the best part of the hellfire. The best part. What's the best part of hellfire? Standing on rocks that are so hot your brains are boiling. Ugh. That's the best part. No wonder they call it hell. And what about the one that will only be there a short time? I'm talking about, 50 years, 100 years, who cares? Maybe. Except that the Prophet ﷺ, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, told us about two people that will come on the day of judgment. One of them, he had everything in this life. Anything he asked for, he got it. The other one, he didn't get the things that he asked for. Now the one who had everything, angel of death came to him to take his soul. He wants one more thing, a feast set in front of him, and he got that. Then the angel took his soul. The other one, He didn't even get to drink a glass of water. It's all he wanted, water. And he didn't get that, and the angel took his soul. Now the one who had everything in this life, they put him into, in the next life, they put him into the hellfire like you might put a pin into something and pull it out. How quick could you do that? You know, maybe you got a pillow or something, you just take a pin. That's what, a nanosecond? And the one who had nothing in this life, didn't get the things he wanted, put him into paradise. Same way you put a pin and pull it out. Now the one that had everything, after coming out of the fire, that just a second, they're asking, in your whole life, where you had everything, he said, did you ever see anything good? He said, I've never ever seen anything good. The other one that had all the difficulties in this life, put him into the paradise just for a second and pull him out and ask him, now in your whole life, did you ever see anything bad? He said, in my whole life, I never saw anything bad. So the experience of either one totally removes whatever you were concerned about here. What were you worried about? Because I guarantee you, as soon as you get to the next life, you're not going to remember it either way. If you wind up in a bad place, you won't remember anything good about this place. So all the stuff that you're chasing after, all the things you're trying to build up here, all of the wealth, the power, the society, the status of, look at me. Okay, that's all going to be gone. You got zip. Horrible. The other one, the one who is sacrificing in this life, the one who is suffering in this life, you're still going to forget about all that as soon as you get to paradise, because it's going to be everything that you wanted and more. You will not be able to fathom in this life either one of those two places. There's just no way. Now, the Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us something about this too. He said use a word like hijab, a covering. There's a covering over the hellfire. A covering over the hellfire, which is your vain desires. Nafs. Your desires. But you see the hellfire as being good because of your desires. But there's a covering over the paradise, makes it unattractive to you, because of what? It's the things you didn't like in this world. So just a lot of the things that we look at every day, if you flip them and look at it from the other side, that's really the reality of the next life. So receiving things in this life is likely, if you want to keep everything in balance, is likely to put you in a very bad way. Giving things in this life will do what? Put you in a better condition. Now, this is not unlike, in other words, it's just like the teaching of Christianity. Simple statement in Christianity, you hear it all the time, especially at Christmas time when somebody wants you to give a gift. It says, it's better to give than to receive. Exactly. This is exactly how it goes. If you understand that, then you can understand a little bit about what Islam is teaching us when it says, the Prophet ﷺ, peace be upon him, taught us, Ad-dunya sijnul mu'min wa jannatul kafir. Does anybody speak Lughat Arabiya? Anybody speak Arabic? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, whoa. More ladies than men are speaking Arabic language here. All right. Well, you know what I said. For those of you who don't know Arabic, I'll go slow. Dunya means the material world that we live in. Ad-dunya, the material world that we live in. Sijnul mu'min. Sijin in Arabic means a prison or a jail. Mu'min is a believer. So this material life is a prison for a believer. Wa jannat, and that means the paradise for the kafir, disbeliever.